Sleeping in a truck cab when the engine is off is nothing short of a survival challenge. The cab is a metal box, barely insulated, and the outside temperature can drop to -20, -30, sometimes even lower. Your body generates heat, yes, but every ounce of it is being sucked out through the steel walls and glass windows. The air inside a parked cab doesn't stay warm by magic. And yet hundreds of thousands of truck drivers do this night after night, every winter across the most unforgiving highways in North America. How? They've turned necessity into an art form. Here's the thing about a truck sleeper cab. It's a refrigerator with a mattress. The walls are thin sheet metal, the floor is steel, and the ceiling is a slab of frozen metal. There's almost nothing about it designed to keep a human alive at 3 a.m. in North Dakota. A cab loses heat roughly 4 times faster than your bedroom at home. Your body emits about 80 to 100 watts of heat all night, and it all leaks out. Every single watt counts. One mistake and hypothermia can arrive faster than you realize. Experienced truckers know the first line of defense is the cab itself. They build what's known as a cab cocoon. This isn't just a blanket over the windshield, it's a strategy to trap every bit of body heat that would otherwise vanish. It begins with reflective windshield and window covers, not the flimsy ones you see at gas stations, but heavy-duty thermal covers that snap securely in place. These covers reflect up to 97% of the heat radiating from your body back into the cab. Think about it, roughly 60% of a cab's heat escapes through the glass. Block the glass, and you've just changed survival from guesswork to math. Some drivers take it further. They cut rigid foam boards to fit every window, sealing the edges with weather stripping. The cab becomes a micro cabin. That simple $30 investment from Home Depot can raise the cab temperature 15 to 20 degrees with zero heat running. That's the difference between shivering under blankets and waking up still functional. But insulation comes with a catch. When the cab is sealed, moisture accumulates quickly. One driver breathing all night produces roughly a pint of water vapor. By morning, windows are fogged, sleeping bags damp, and insulation loses up to 40% of its effectiveness. That's where small but smart hacks come in. Crack the overhead vent just a 1/4 inch. It sounds crazy letting in cold air to stay warm, but it allows moisture to escape without losing much heat. Some drivers keep damp red containers under the bunk to absorb excess water. Moisture management may be boring, but it's life-saving. The most powerful tool in a trucker's winter arsenal is the diesel-fired bunk heater. Brands like Espar and Webasto are household names in trucking for a reason. These heaters use a tiny fraction of diesel, about 1/10 of a gallon per hour, to pump warm air directly into the sleeper without idling the engine. That means no $70 idle tickets, no wasted fuel, and warmth while the truck is parked. But here's the hard truth. Heaters fail, and they always fail on the worst night. One veteran recalls a Webasto quitting at 2 a.m. in January with wind chill hitting -35. The nearest truck stop was 40 miles away. No one was coming. That's when the other survival strategies shift from nice to have to essential. Backup heat is non-negotiable. Most drivers carry 12-volt heated blankets. They draw just 4 to 5 amps from the truck battery, which is less than a headlight. One blanket underneath the sleeper, one on top. It's a heated sandwich with you as the filling. A fully charged truck battery can run this for 8 to 10 hours. At roughly $45 each, 2 blankets are $90 insurance against frostbite and hypothermia. Cheap compared to losing toes or worse. And then there's the old school method that never dies, hot water bottles. Fill them from a coffee machine at a truck stop, wrap in towels and place strategically against the body core, stomach, inner thighs, near major blood vessels. Heat distributes through the circulatory system, warming the entire body. Veterans even rotate 2 bottles during the night to maintain constant heat. It's simple physics, cheap, and remarkably effective. Even the best insulation and heat sources can fail if you're parked in the wrong spot. Wind chill is real, and a -10 cab can feel like -35 if exposed to open wind. Veteran drivers treat parking like chess. Use buildings as windbreaks, back the sleeper into a wall or structure, let the cab nose take the wind. The engine block, still warm from the day, becomes a natural heat barrier. Park near other trucks. Idling trucks create a microclimate. The combined residual heat can raise ambient temperature 5 to 10 degrees, saving your fuel. Avoid open lots. Exposure to wind robs heat faster than any frozen sleeper ever could. Parking strategy isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Here's a subtle trick that separates rookies from veterans: the dead man's check. Your body's core temperature dips to its lowest around 3 to 4 a.m. Metabolism slows, and this is when hypothermia sneaks in. Experienced drivers set alarms to wake themselves, assess the temperature, and decide if the engine or heater needs a quick boost. Even a 15-minute engine run can reset the cab temperature through the danger window. It uses about half a gallon of diesel, roughly $2, but that's cheaper than frostbite, hospital bills, or losing a CDL medical card. Surviving a winter night isn't just about external heat. Internal heat generation matters too. Eating fatty foods before bed, peanut butter, cheese, beef jerky, triggers thermogenesis. Digesting fat generates more heat than carbs or protein. That extra warmth peaks right when your body is most vulnerable, around 2 to 3 a.m. Clothing is another nuance rookies often miss. Heavy layers in a sleeping bag compress insulation, making it less effective. Veterans wear thin, moisture-wicking base layers and keep heavier clothes close by if step into needed. Pre-warmed socks, gloves, and jackets inside the sleeping bag can make a critical difference. The hallmark of winter trucking is redundancy. No single gear item is enough. A combination of reflective covers and foam insulation, moisture management, vents, damp rid, diesel bunk heater plus 12-volt blankets plus hot water bottles, smart parking, fatty foods, and proper layering is what keeps drivers alive. Think of it as a safety ecosystem where every element backs up the others. Sometimes the most effective tool isn't technology or gear, it's other truckers. During extreme cold or highway shutdowns, drivers check on each other, share blankets, food, and even engine heat. Stories from storms along I-95 or I-80 reveal truckers opening cabs for stranded drivers, passing out coffee at 4 a.m., and creating informal survival networks. Modern forums have turned these networks digital. Cold call networks let drivers send a quick "you good" message during a shutdown. Even companies are catching up, equipping cabs with temperature and CO alarms that alert dispatch if a sleeper drops below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Technology formalizes what the road has been teaching for decades. Surviving isn't just physical, it's mental. Long-haul truckers train themselves to stay aware, calm, and methodical. Panic wastes heat, and poor decision-making can be fatal. Veterans treat winter nights as series of checklists: cab prep, moisture management, backup heat, food, clothing, and parking strategy. Every step is deliberate, every contingency accounted for. Even the smallest detail matters. A coffee cup left nearby, blankets pre-positioned, water bottles swapped. These tiny habits accumulate to survival advantage. After decades, the lessons are clear. Surviving a freezing night in a truck cab is never about one magic solution. It's layers: physical layers, thermal layers, metabolic layers, and human layers. Veteran drivers know the cab is just a tool. Survival comes from preparation, redundancy, and smart behavior. By sunrise, the trucker awakes, checks gear, starts the engine, and continues the job. Hundreds of thousands of drivers do this in winter, across isolated highways, trusting their combination of knowledge, gear, and community to keep them alive. It's not glamorous, it's not easy, but it works, and it's remarkable. If you ever see a lone rig parked at a remote rest area during a January storm, remember, inside that sleeper is a miniature survival operation. Foam and reflective covers, moisture management, bunk heaters and hot water bottles, smart parking, fatty snacks, base layers, and a network of fellow drivers keeping an eye out. Every detail matters, every layer counts. Truck drivers don't just survive winter nights, they've perfected the science of staying warm when the engine is off, and in doing so, they keep the wheels of the country turning. That's not just survival, that's resilience, ingenuity, and courage rolled into one metal box on frozen wheels.